I'm Malachy Toohey, lead singer of the Riptide Movement. Over the past few years, we've all become more and more aware of plastic pollution in our oceans and the devastating effect it's having on our marine life. Every year, 8 million tonnes of plastic enter our oceans, and experts warn by 2050 our oceans could have more plastic in them than fish. It's not a legacy we want our generation to be remembered for. We wanted to learn more about this issue, so we partnered up with the Clean Coast programme and travelled along our incredible Irish coastline, documenting and speaking with volunteers, politicians, celebrities and beach communities to find out what changes we need to make and what part we can play to help stem the tide of single-use plastics. We are the Riptide Movement, and this is our journey.
That's lovely.
The Riptide Movement visited St Clare's Primary School in Howells Cross to find out how the next generation is learning to tackle single-use plastic.
It all works out. It all works out.
And what do you think people, like adults, should be doing?
I think we should reduce the plastic on items that you get in the supermarket, because that's where a lot of the plastic comes from. But do you really need that much plastic on everything? Like in a plastic tray, individually wrapped in plastic and then wrapped in plastic again, like.
So the aim is to kind of get as many people involved as possible, but we're in 93% of schools around the country, so it's a really successful programme.
Yeah, congratulations, well done.
And it was much different to when we were in school, because obviously everything was in plastic, and that's just the way it was. But you see, we've seen the kids today with all reusable cups and all their lunch boxes, and everything that they use is just, there's no single-use plastic.
Miss, would it be cool if they had no homework for today?
Yeah! Come on, Gar. Go work.
Lovely. Thank you.
The band were invited along to the Irish launch of Sky Ocean Rescue and spoke to TV presenter Amanda Byram about the devastating effects of plastic on our ocean.
It's really important to raise awareness and for such cool guys to do it too. Everyone at home is going to think, well, if the cool guys can do it, why can't I? So respect, huge respect. But yeah,
Thanks, Amanda.
Polly the whale. Can you believe that this amount of plastic goes in the ocean every second? 8 million tonnes a year go into the ocean. It doesn't go anywhere, it stays there forever because it doesn't decompose. So, and that's obviously one of the reasons I'm involved in this whole, passion project, because it's got to start somewhere, right? It's got to start with us.
The band headed to Sandy Cove to meet Clean Coast volunteer Margaret Brown.
I think we were one of the first groups in Clean Coast, 2004, and we received the Green Coast Award that's on the wall over there. But I think myself, the children have to be educated in schools, and the shops will have to be more careful and not handing out plastic with everything, and especially the plastic cups and the lids that are on them, and they're all there doing damage to the birds and the wildlife and into the sea as well.
The lads headed to Low Rock to meet Rachel and Tom to learn the art of open water swimming.
Myself and my husband swim, and we work full time, but we were asked, a lot of people asked us to coach them and help them out in the swimming. So we said, right, we're going to set up this little club called Ocean Breakers. So what we do is we coach people that are beginners or who are really good swimmers that might have a little bit of, might be nervous in the water and want to become better at what they do. So we're going to start off with you guys now and get you in. Yeah,
oh, God.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Not bad. Thought it was going to be worse. It was lovely. Kind of daunting at first, but then you see people swimming from that boy there the whole way out to the other boy all the way out there, and we were only just there, and it feels way further than it is. Way further. But it was deadly.
Minister Eoghan Murphy was invited for a swim and a chat about what the Irish government can do and is doing to protect our ocean's health.
My department, it used to be the Department of the Environment before we made it the Department of Housing. But a lot of the environmental functions stayed with the department as well. So things like Irish water is a big part of my remit, but then also marine and spatial planning of the seas.
Right.
So that means what we're doing on our foreshore, down by the seas, on our beaches, the Blue Flag Awards, all those types of things come in my department as well.
I understand in parts of Europe microbeads and microplastics are banned, and I believe it's the same in the UK. Are they banned here in Ireland? Or what's the position with microplastics and microbeads?
You know, I think, like, obviously you guys are doing so much in the water at the moment, and one of the ambitions that I have for this year is to ban microbeads.
Very good.
And so we're trying to make a priority legislation. I've been speaking to people like Eamon Ryan from the Green Party, Sean Sherlock from the Labour Party, Simon Coveney in my own party who's interested in this, to see can we actually come to an agreement and get that legislation through quickly.
I think there's a lot of energy around this issue at the moment, a lot of media attention, and it feels like we can really kind of harness that energy and attention and, you know, turn it into meaningful change, like you said. And it would be great if Ireland could like take leadership in this, like we did with the smoking ban, like we did with the plastic bags. If we could like ban, you know, plastic straws and just go really just take leadership with it, because for a country that's surrounded by so much coastline, like we're surrounded by so much water, it'd be fantastic to just lead the way with this movement.
And look, I mean, you're right. I mean, we're an island and we're not a very big island, so coasts and our waters are so important to us in terms of our own resources, and they have been, you know, since time immemorial. So we've got to make sure that as we have developed new ways of living and eating and packaging things, that we're thinking about, well, how are we actually going to dispose of them that isn't going to harm the environment that we're so used to, that we've grown up with, and that we want to protect into the future.
Mal was asked to join a panel of environmental experts to talk about ocean plastics at the DALKEY Book Festival.
I'm a wildlife camera woman. I've been doing it for about 30 years, and I've travelled pretty much, I'm very lucky, I've been from like 78 degrees north to 78 degrees south, and that's about 1,000 miles away from the South and North Pole, so it's quite far north and south. And the true devastating truth is that I have seen plastic everywhere, absolutely everywhere, and I'm really interested to come here today to find out about what everybody's going to share, because actually I think I'm going to learn a lot about the plastic crisis.
Finally is Mal Toohey, who's the lead singer of the Riptide Movement. They've been travelling around the coast to coast, interviewing people about environmental issues.
The world isn't doomed, and there's a lot of good stuff happening out there. The kids out there are miles ahead of us, and there's a school called St. Clare's out in Harold's Cross, and it's the articulation from these kids, the knowledge of recycling from these kids was just absolutely mind-blowing. And if that's the future, we're in safe hands. But it's up to us at this point. It's our generation that needs to solve this issue. And wouldn't it be great that if we can say it was our generation that did solve this issue?
That's a brilliant way to close on this.